He's giving them a sleeper hug. Daddy loves you. Go to sleep. Don't make me bring out the pixie dust. uh, Greetings. I was working in an assembly line until 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, I'm a 9 to 5 engineer. I engineer things, and I normally work as an assembly line worker. But yeah, we had a project that was really behind, and somebody had to. I convinced a bunch of people to stay late, and then I'm like, okay, now I got. Oh, oh, I can't just leave. That would make me a dick. So yeah, I stayed, and there was some like being a responsible adult, and you know has a price. I could have just ditched like a jerk. The boxing. The other things. And I'll open up map tools because science. So last time on the adventures of Awesome Quest, we pwned the dungeon and were given a mountain of treasure. So I think we owned that dungeon pretty good. I mean, Centaur down. We have a Centaur down, but they're not supposed to see that folder. This is boring stuff. Yes, this is the folder for boring things that nobody would be interested in because it's boring. You're muted. All right.
That there was no microphone. Hey, how's it going? Yay. Now we got it. Alright, so welcome to DieDragonDie Presents, the Demonwatch campaign. I'm your host and DM, Marty. I'm joined by Adam and Ahmed. John can't make it. I think he's bowing out for a little while out of the side campaigns. He's got a bunch of life stuff to do, including, work, apartment, girlfriend, that sort of thing. So life got in the way. That's fine. He'll still be part of our Saturday games for Legends, and we will continue on with Demonwatch. We've got some fun characters that we've already created. We've got this is game 5, and I've played with just Ahmed and Adam before. in past campaigns. Like, we do this quite often, in addition to our main campaign, which we play on weekends. And they seem to go really well. So basically, consider Demonwatch as an example of how to play D&D with just 2 other people. What we ended up doing is, you'll see, and some of the characters haven't been introduced yet, is that I'll let them run 2 characters each. I feel confident in their ability to handle that level of complexity in Pathfinder, as well as we all do voices for our characters. If you've watched past streams, you kind of know this. So distinguishing who's talking or what shouldn't be a problem, and we can work on it if we could work on it if it is. There are a couple of NPCs that I'll sort of run the voices of. Of course, DMs run every NPC in the world.
There's a pro tip for those who are trying to do multiple voices. Gruff man and extra gruff man are a terrible set of voices.
Right. If you're going to do 2 growly voices, that's
snake,
probably...
Snake! And then you have snake. No.
Yeah, so try to have the accents different, try to have the pitches different, and then work on the mannerisms. Ahmed's going to have a bit of a challenge, though, because he's playing 2 really lawful characters. One is Eldon, the guy who screams out, "Don't panic in battle," the little halfling,
Don't panic!
And then he really liked the NPC from the module named Lann Half-horn. So what I did with Lann seemed to be an interesting NPC, and he kind of was kicking around with the party a bit. But then I made a really nice build for him. Like, I kind of laid out, here's how the levels and feats and powers you should probably take, or I would take if I was playing this. Ahmed looked at it, and plus Lann had a really strong entrance last game, where he kind of walked in and kicked a little bit of butt. And Ahmed went, "Oh, I want to play him." Ahmed has a fascination with monks, druids, and druids, I think.
Druid monks, monk druids,
right? So
druids.
When he saw a druid, when he saw a monk just kicking ass, he really wanted to play a monk. So Lann will end up being Ahmed's second character. In fact, I created a page for this in our OneNote section, just so that we can review for those that don't know what we're doing. So Ahmed's 2 characters, we'll talk about him while he's putting the kids to sleep, is Eldon Burrows, a male halfling ranger gestalt paladin, lawful good. We are playing kind of like a high power game, and I can just balance it, no problem. The same thing in Legends. It's actually the same universe as the Legends campaign, just in a different world. And then Lann Half-horn will be the monk rogue, mongrel folk that Ahmed will play. Adam's got Fi, who's the kind of crazy genius alchemist wizard, who basically is going through a crisis right now because he was a pacifist living on the edge of the world wound, which was where the abyss was sort of leaching into the world. And up until this point, Fi has never taken a life. In the last combat, I think he killed or damaged every single person in that
give or take 22 people.
And it wasn't just sort of like shooting them, they're dead. He was like melting their faces off and setting them ablaze, and so he's not doing so well psychologically at this point in time. Adam's also created a Dragonborn character. This is something where I was talking to him, and he wanted to tie in with the sovereigns, these silver dragons that were kind of ruling over these nations and sort of leading the fight against demonkind. In episode 1, we saw the death of Terendelev, one of the silver dragon sovereigns. And basically the sovereigns, or these silver dragons, do have entire houses of Dragonborn, or like people that are descended from the draconic bloodline. So Ventarin is a Dragonborn paladin of Bahamut, not Baphomet. Bahamut. Right. Baphomet's paladins might be a different sort of play. And then, of course,
imagine you only make that mistake once, where you let in a paladin of Baphomet.
Right. Undercover arch paladin, anti paladin. Okay, and then there's one DM PC or like major NPC that seems to be kicking around. This is the very egotistical and self-centered Oracle Sorcerer of Palor, the god of light and healing. His name is Icon. He's a male Azamar, and he is neutral good. There may be other NPCs. If Icon goes away, there may be others that sort of shift in over the course of the campaign. As per usual, NPCs kind of come and go. However, we recently lost Arixes, who was the the warrior barbarian centaur who died while attacking this particular.
No, he died getting into position. He wasn't even attacking yet. It was
Right. So what do we want to call? Actually, let's do a short recap of last game. Garfield, welcome back. So episode 4 was called Baptism of Blood. The Crusaders rally and infiltrate the Traitor's Den, delivering righteous vengeance upon the cultists and traitors within. Fi questions his lot in the fight against the Abyss, with so many slain by his bombs and spells. He also postulates that the souls of evil men will simply feed the Abyss, making their victory a Pyrrhic one at best. The Crusaders theorized that an attack on the city was not a spontaneous one, but a conspiracy perpetrated within. More specifically, on the 63rd day of summer, basically on this world, we'll say that each of the seasons, 4 of which have 90 days, and basically they have 4 really long months.
best calendar ever.
Yeah. So summer 63, this is 3 days after the attack on the city, the first day of Armas. The party assaults the lair, confronting Mongolfolk traders and cultists at Baphomet. Eryxis Gengos dies in the attack, slain by a Mongolfolk arrow. The party rallies and takes the Traitor's Den, slaying many Mongolfolk, cultists, and 4 lowly Dretch demons. They also slay a Templar of the Ivory Labyrinth, which is the name of the specific cultists in the region that worship Baphomet, the demon lord of vengeance and minotaurs.
She got stunning fisted into next Tuesday.
Right.
It was awesome.
In the Templars' quarters, they find a letter that points to a conspiracy and names 3 locations in the city that might have ties to the demonic cult. And it was written in abyssal. And abyssal is just sort of like, it's a sentence, and then every once in a while there's a symbol that represents some concept kind of embedded in. And you need to know which way to read the letter, whether it's up, down, left, right, right, left, down, up, or more complex, in a spiral, or, in a blob or something like that. So the language itself, when it's actually written, is actually a really complex one. So it appears that Fi, on an intellectual level, is interested in learning Abyssal.
Yeah. Would use as a template for a future good Dizzle. I want a chaotic good language.
Chaotic good language. The letter basically was from somebody named SV, who was instructing Hosilla, if I'm going to paraphrase the letter, to wait for a while, then return to SV's side. SV congratulated her on recovering a paladin's sword, a paladin named Yaniel, saying that we'll corrupt it, so bring it with you. But before you leave, go to the 3 safe houses and clean out any evidence.
We need to beat them to them. First we have to get out of this hole.
Right. And then the letter gave praise to 2 different demon lords. One is Lord Discari, and the other one is Lord Baphomet.
Which led to a guffaw.
Right. Yeah, when you mistook Baphomet with Bahamut. And everyone laughed. except for Bahamut, who now is going to crusade against you.
Oh.
All right, so where did we leave off? Ahmed, are you there?
Are you using your ninja
range
headset?
Ahmed!
I don't think he's there.
All right.
He's currently in the partial prone position.
You guys had cleared out most of the living areas in the Trader's Den. I'm now showing the map on Map Tools. And you had gone deep within Trader's Den to a kind of a living area, carved stone tables, and there's an abattoir of a kitchen area that is really disgusting, and it seems to have a mixture of meats from sentient and non-sentients.
I believe this chest is still locked and trapped.
Yes, this chest does have a low grade summoning spell, I believe you thought it was.
We identified a...
Yep. Yeah. You found some potions, and you've collected up some of the gear off of the pile of dead bodies that is now rank and jammed into these two chambers up top.
Oh.
So Icon is trying to lift the spirits of the party at this point in time by singing the full verses of the song Solaria Pelor Solaria.
I's going to start drawing a picture on the wall.
Okay. Solaria Pelor Solaria. Solaria Pelor Solaria. Everybody together now. Solaria Pelor Solaria. Oh, Pelor Solaria.
I think Eldon would join in. I think that's in his nature.
He's now singing lyrics that you don't quite know. The sun rises great, Solaria. His arrival was foretold, Solaria. It's never dark at dawn. He's smiling at all of you at this verse. Solaria. Oh, Pelor Solaria. Pelor lights the way. It's like one of those things where it's like it doesn't end. Pelor lights the way, Solaria. Icon's here to stay, Solaria.
There's a bit of stuff going across the room at the...
He shall save the day, Solaria. Oh, Pelor Solaria. Oh, Pelor Solaria. You're welcome, is what he says.
Did you write that yourself?
No, it was written before I was born, but I must say that it is a very, catchy tune, is it not?
So you were named after the song?
No, the song was about me. My coming was foretold, he says, as he sits down to, like, eat the dry rations that you guys have divvied out. He's humming to himself the same tune while he's, like, trying to cut a piece of jerky. You're just supposed to eat the jerky. You're not supposed to cut it.
Fi is using local bits and things to create finger paints, and he's finger painting the wall.
Okay. Fascinating. Are we anywhere near the surface, says Boltha. Vashniel is interested in this. His ears perk up. Eldon's busy feeding Kruger, who's making like the big freaking dog lapping sounds that, you know, a dog with that face would. Yep.
Yes, we're close
Otis
to the
is moving
surface.
his leg and still wincing in great pain, as his leg may not have been properly tended to from the crash.
We are both closer to the surface and closer to the abyss. Yes, that's what we are.
Not far now, says Lann. Not far now. We should get our rest. I don't see why we're not going to the surface now, says Boltha, if the way is clear. We don't know what's up there. Hadrian finally pipes in. We might have to fight demons. The whole city could be overrun. Best to do that when the wizards have their spells and the priests have their prayers. And Icon can speaketh the true words of light. Don't panic, my friends, says Hilton.
Don't panic!
Don't panic, my friends. I'm sure everything will be all right, he says, and it's quite clear on his face that he does not think that everything's going to be all right.
Okay. Fi currently has 3 strength damage. Drugs are bad.
Okay.
I'm not thinking if we have like a one-time use lesser restoration, we shouldn't be using that yet.
Yeah, Icon, has a scroll. You picked up scrolls.
Yeah.
Gave him a scroll. He
fine.
can't quite cast second level spells yet.
Nope, that's alright.
Next level. Next level of a pile of seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you guys have won. You have bought off your 3rd level, so you're now.
Yay! We're 3rd.
You're now at 3rd.
We're now making real XP.
Let me just double check. You're at 10,048, and you need 11,250. So no, you haven't.
We're still making pretend XP.
Yep. The reason why it's important is that I'll award you your first hero point when you've actually bought off your 3rd level.
Yay! Yeah. Pay your loans. Pay your loans. Get a hero point. I wish that happened when I paid my student loan. Been awesome. I think we should put more over here.
Princess Nina is helping you paint things. Bortha looks annoyed. What is Fi painting?
It's like a sun and a rainbow and a bunch of little people, and then there's one little person who's fallen over and they're dark, and then there's a bunch of raindrops, and then there's a big hole, and then there's a bunch of bodies.
Is Fi an artist, or is this like childlike?
It would be. He's trying, but it's highly stylized.
Okay. Give me your craft tattoo. Just see how. Without the craft tattoo tools, you're kind of using you're using your hands.
Finger paints. 26.
Ah. Yes. I must agree with Fi that this place needs a little more color, a little more brightness. Your people will definitely wash away the filth that is here. Mongrel folk just gives a curt nod to that. Perhaps the wretched ones will make this place less dreary.
This was the trading post before, yes?
Lann squirms a little bit at that, and he finally agrees. You can give me a sense motive if you want.
Uh, 11.
Sure. Something bothered him with that description, but he eventually agreed.
Did you trade with the surface?
Scavenge, he says. He's looking around the room, like, making sure that what he said isn't wrong. Thieves, says Bortha.
Nothing wrong with taking scraps. There's one little dude that's in the cave underground that's got a really big head. And then so he kind of looks behind him. There's another dude with an even bigger head, and that one's shiny.
Bartha's not paying attention to your silly artwork. Princess Nina is giggling. Well, the sooner that we're back home, the sooner that we can check on our families. That's Otis with the broken leg.
I haven't seen. Although, what I see? There are many possibilities. Fewer every day.
Do not give in to despair, my brothers. That's fine. Sorry, as Icon finally finishes cutting the jerky and pops a little piece into his mouth.
I did it!
Right. There's something infectious about his smile, but there's something a little bit vapid about him as well. You're not sure.
How do Crusaders kill as holy men? I suppose this is probably something more for Ahmed, but as holy men you kill and you declare it to be a goodly act, but murder is still murder. How is murder good? What is the difference? If two beings have free will and they both have choice, he's not basically drawing out his thoughts.
Demons are monsters, says Hadrian. If left unchecked, the evil that they would spread is much more than the grey act of killing your foe.
Then why do people worship them?
They are misguided, easily tempted by the falseness of demonic claims.
See? They should be pitied. They are misguided. They are not...
But prayer and faith is the food of the gods, and the misdeeds of these fallen souls fuels demonkind. If they are so eager to meet their demons, then so be it. The job of the Inquisition is to root out corruption, to root out evil wherever we find it.
The demons are not like the gods. They are not the same. Correct?
No, demons are not gods.
What do demons use for fuel? Souls, yes?
Icon's shaking his head, like this pained look on his face. It's all too practiced, though.
We can't keep... You can't keep doing demons' work. He corrects himself mid-sentence. He switches. And expect to win. They want souls. You bring them souls. You are the reapers for the demons. Goodly men, when they die, they do not feed demons. They feed gods. Goodly men, when they live, feed gods.
You are neither a god nor high priest. The high priests of our religion and the saints have deemed it so. Therefore it is. Do not question it. Your line of thinking easily leads you down the path of heresy, says Hadrian, as he slams his cup into the table and goes for a walk. It might be wise not to aggravate the Inquisitor, says Ervashniel, sitting there. a little bit drunk as they've been feeding him wine.
Do I remember the name of the professor that I blew up?
Sure.
I don't know. Does he have a name that is...
You ask and you shall receive. Give me one moment just to open up an elven name generator. Actually, it wasn't elven; it was a human name generator. So, wizard names. You know what? Hey, they do have a wizard name generator. Cool.
Zapoof the Grey. What?
These are all gibberish.
Well, in the style of Tolkien, just smash your face against the keyboard and call it a
Right.
name.
His name is Yiji Jamar.
I think I had this conversation before, except it was with Jamar. Not the same topic, but the same outcome.
He's the evocation teacher.
Yes. You don't create the fireball, you pull the fireball from another plane. They just poke a little hole. Fire comes out. Same basic concept.
Well, if that were true, then fireballs would not work in a dimensionally locked area, says Eravashniel. But I do understand that fire comes from the plane of fire, but that
The
is...
crux of this is it's not real fire. The fire is not real. It came from some place that is not here. So it's not dimensionally transferred, but it's there more like an illusion. Because beings with dragons and demons that are strong can just have fireballs wash over them.
Oh, you're forgetting the universal principles of base magic, where magic is everywhere, and it can be transformed into energy.
Spells that create are not limited in such ways. Grease web, acid splash. There's many that create. Those are creating. You create those. You do not create a fireball. You manifest a illusion of a fireball.
No, you transpose the magical energy around you into fire, using the secrets of fire, which do, I suppose, originate from the elemental plane of fire, but still, I postulate that if you were standing in a dimensionally locked area, you could still fireball. However, you cannot fireball when standing in an anti-magic field.
Correct? And you cannot fireball something that is resistant to magic in general. So you do not actually make something. It is not fire, it is magical substance. It is not the thing which you are saying you created.
I see. You did not create it. You took the magic of the regional area and changed it into energy, unleashed its potential.
Temporarily and pointlessly. There are better ways.
There are some groans around the table as the two wizards are nerding out. Eravashniel seems to be in good spirits, at least because he's a little bit drunk and he's finally had some scintillating conversation.
Yay! And a chair, a real chair,
and a chair. Yeah, exactly. And a stable place for him to just kind of like reverie out for a while.
And just to be like, it's dark. That's all.
When we return to the surface, I would ask you, my friends, that you return me to my brethren. A second. I would very much like to return to Blackwing, the librarium of the Broken Black Wing. I'm worried about my fellows there, and I wish to rejoin my enclave. You give me a knowledge local or a knowledge
Yes.
arcana?
I will give you the knowledge local or the knowledge arcana. Which would you prefer? I asked this question meaninglessly because my numbers are the same for everything. It's 21 plus 14.
All right. Demonwatch. So, the Librarian of the Broken Black Wing, also called Black Wing by the locals, has a reputation for the most complete record of research on demon hunting in the entire Protectorate.
That's a good library as well. I have access to that one, right? he's talking to the door Hadrian's on the other side of.
It's rumored to be to contain stacks of and secret chambers containing facilities and resources for a group of spellcasters that manage it. You don't know much about the spellcasters, but you suspect that Erebashnil is one of them now.
Is your book still there?
I am eager to find out.
Hopefully the library's still there.
Bortha looks concerned when you're talking about whether or not buildings are still there.
I didn't come up with the idea. He's pointing at the door. He came up with the idea. He's the one who said that the library of their kind,
very much
Crusader's
like
library might be one.
help returning to House Widdershins. I believe it's not far from Bortha's home.
Yes. I would insist that we return immediately to my manor, so that you can all get paid. And then you can go running about a city under siege.
I really want to check in on my family.
Fi starts making a manor that has, like, no doors. he's drawing a manor that has no way to get in.
Testing,
Right.
testing. 1, 2, 3.
Olive, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey guys. Hey guy.
Princess Nina says,
I want to make sure we go back to the house
We're going to.
to check on the children. And then
what was the boy's name?
His name is... He says in a slow, even tone as he buys time.
That boy.
He's my
That
boy.
was possessed. And is wizardly like.
No, it's not Cora Mazde. No, I don't have that written down. It should be on Alicia?
Alistair sounds right.
Yes, Alicia.
Then we
Found
can go
it.
check on Alistair. He was in the tower inside. He was in the Inquisitor's tower inside the Cathedral of St. Cuthbert.
We still need a...
Oh, St. Clydewell, sorry.
St. Clydewell. We still need to find a exorcist.
Which was the same building that you saw the dragon and the demon plowing into when the dragon died.
We still need to find an exorcist.
Right. Hadrian overhears the conversation. He comes back in. There are a few places we need to go. This information on this letter, this needs to go into the hands of whoever still stands. He's going to name off a few places. The Cathedral of St. Clydewell, or the Temple of Heronius, or the kite itself where the wardstone is. We need to check on these places. I need to get word to my superiors about what we've learned.
Is there a city map or no?
There is. I can switch to there if you'd like.
Well, Fi is going to start thinking of an optimal path that puts the dude's manor at the end.
Okay. So I'm going to open a campaign. I will open up world and city maps. Hopefully I've got the right ones. Valderas before Terran's down. Okay, there we go. Oh, I don't have any labels on this one. Shit. You're not even sure whereabouts.
Where we come out.
Where you're coming out. Yeah, exactly.
So what did we learn exactly regarding...
We had a philosophical chat, and then we had a magical chat. Sorry,
We
had a
had-
philosophical chat, then I pissed off Hadrian, then we had a magical chat, and then
Icon did some singing.
Icon sang, yeah. Guess what? His holy hymns has his own name in them. So yeah, that was a thing.
This is a very defendable, well,
Okay, so Manor Gyrix is here. House Widdershins he's describing in this neighborhood.
where is Fi's house?
Fi's house is in the Ring District in this neighborhood.
That's a very nice district.
The place where you disappeared was around here. This
Oh,
is
snap.
this is the cathedral that got smashed into. And
Where's the castle?
and the kite is right here. This is where the wardstone actually was.
Where's this black hall thing?
The librarian with
Librarian?
the broken wing is in this area.
Oh,
Now, you learned of 3 places that are possibly cult dens.
yep. That
One was the Nazirian Manor, and it's in this area.
oh,
One
Okay.
was the Tower Estrade, which is up here.
Can I label as you go?
I've got a map that actually shows the devastation of the city and the
Oh,
current
okay.
state of it. So this is
So
this
there's
is
no point.
You don't actually have a map. You have some knowledge local and knowledge geography, and kind of have lived here, right?
we've got
So-
Fi's mind.
Yeah.
That's what we have.
Okay, that's cool.
And the third place were, what was it? Nazirian Manor, Tower Estrade, and Topaz Solutions. Topaz Solutions is, looks like, up in this direction.
Did we? So did we leave the den?
No, you guys.
Den?
This is
We're in
that
the den.
evening. You're having conversations and that sort of thing.
So, Lann, where do we exit from here? Like, compared to the city?
It's a great question.
Give me 1 second while I get a message from the DM. Third wall.
Give me a knowledge geography, Lan.
Yeah,
Knowledge local. Knowledge.
not something relevant.
Which direction is the world wound?
It's across the river.
Okay.
Here we go.
Like, but this is part of the barrier. This actual castle here. So, like, the river technically would be in
11.
that area. Lan just knows that you end up in the southern portion of the city. That's all he could describe without a map and without. He doesn't go up there very often.
All right.
But when you
I guess I guess we get
We
rid of
know the
Morpha
exits
first.
are from. We know. Wait, hold on. He's a strong guy. We know the exits are from here somewhere, probably to the north. We checked everything in the south, didn't we? Probably. Like he's heading north. I mean, at the top of the map.
Huh?
We haven't checked everything up that way.
You guys did a big zigzag if you ended up over here. You spent a lot of time underground.
But we didn't check everything. Yeah, but we know that the exit is through here, through this den.
Yeah, this was a known exit that was commonly used, but the people of Neathhome, as well as the other underground settlements, lately were having a hard time using this exit because of the traders. They said it wasn't always called the Trader's Den.
Yeah.
There are other ways, possibly, from Neathhome. Neathhome was kind of like a hub in the spoke of a wheel, or in like a wheel, where there were many tunnels that led off, and they weren't all clearly marked, or some of them were obfuscated.
So
a lot of them led down, but they said this is the way that they knew was still open, because Crusaders actually, remember, like, Crusaders came down and were like messing up with some of Neathome's settlements, like they were trying to attack
They're ugly, kill them.
the mongrel folk. Yep. But you guys were there to save them in episode 2 or so.
It's going to be a terrible day in the morning. I hope it's better than today.
Yeah, it's south near the wall.
Do you know that feeling when you're trapped in a cave, surrounded by the innocents
Assholes.
that you've murdered, and then you know
Oh,
that
that
in the
feeling.
morrow that the brightness will come with devastation, destruction, and more innocence' death?
That's how I wake up every morning.
Kenny's saying that none of the streams are loading. Are you guys able to...
Wait a minute. It sounded fine to me. I paused it, but let me restart it.
It's loading for me.
Yeah, I've got it on another computer just so I can see what it is that we're looking at, and it seems to be working. Kenny, try reboot or try refresh. Try a different browser.
It's unfortunate.
No,
really.
it's working fine. Looks like it's working fine. Not sure what it is.
Yeah, I'm in
Get
Seattle.
out of here, Lemmy.
Perhaps you need to be mythic to see the channel.
So I'm in Seattle and they're in Ontario, so it's not just a local thing. But let us know if you're able to get it work. My dropped frames are 0, so probably between you and the Twitch server. Anyways, okay, so now that you guys have talked about the city, Eravashnil is if we're in the south, then the Blackwing Tower is not far. You can go and deal with the wizards later, says Bortha. If we're in the south, my manor isn't far.
Listen,
There's no point in arguing, children.
here's the. I
We
don't
don't know
I don't
where
know
we're
your
going
city.
to end up out of there.
No,
Oh.
we don't. So it's good to set up some a strategy of what we're going to do and what we're going to prioritize, right? We don't want to show up and have everyone decide, I'll go here and I'll go here, and then have an argument while we're being attacked. Right?
Don't worry. I'll lead the way.
You are our most gifted killer, after all. You've done well. Don't be ashamed.
How do you sleep at night? How do you face your dreams?
I have none. I sleep facing the door. That way, if any challenger comes, I wake up and fight directly. Silly question.
The dog's perking up at at Eldon's harsher words, kind of looking around. Eventually just goes up to his hand and, like, gives it a lick.
Right, master?
It's already a
So
big
you-
dog, and he's, like, the size of a child, so a very strong, manly child, but the size of a child.
So you have to. So when did you kill your fun? When did you kill your inner child?
My fun. I will make a fighter and a warrior out of you yet. Don't worry, ugly one. You have potential. Fear not. You will not have the physique of a woman for long.
Otis is giggling at that, but then his giggling makes his leg hurt, so he's like, "Oh."
He's not jerking around. He's being like, yeah, don't worry.
Icon's,
You'll be it's just,
you catch Icon looking at your figure.
it's taut. It's very wiry and strong.
He shrugs like, huh? It goes back to cutting his second piece of beef jerky.
I will use the token of turn into it. In fact, Lann,
Yeah.
are you joining
Yes.
us on the surface?
Bortha snorts at that. Like gives him a look like he should stay down here.
He looks around at you guys.
Eravashnel is like listening, like he wants to hear the answer to this. Hadrian
If
just
there are
glances-
demons above, they're terrorizing. Then I will make my way up there.
Your help will be appreciated. That's what Hadrian says.
Fi is
We
going
fell
to.
down some evil ones here. We can do the same above.
Fi will give.
Sorry,
Lann,
I'm trying to keep the voices separate. It's kind of
Oh, yeah.
Fi will give Lann the token of alter self.
What is this? Oh,
It will turn you into a.
Oh,
It'll turn you into a female.
sorrow. Oh.
Oh, sadness. It'll turn you into the embodiment of a great sovereign.
Will I still have my fighting ability?
Yes, but your head will be soft, so don't hit people with it.
Oh,
Otis
You give sort of a tap on the horn.
I see.
I wouldn't mind seeing the gnome again, says Otis. Huh? He's looking around. He glances
If
over
I-
at Eldon, like,
If I understand how the magic works, it'll probably function best on Icon.
I have no need to disguise my tanned flesh, my friend. All shall bask in the beauty that is the radiance of Icon, who is cometh here to save.
I don't want to go to bed.
You need your rest.
Says Princess Nina, who basically speaks like making little high pitched squeaks and like flapping of wings and that sort of thing, changing of the sigils on her her painted form. I will try to get some rest. If you do not mind, I shall not be part of the watch order, says Eravashniel. I shall try to keep an ear out for things, but I cannot. I'm not used to this. Hadrian
all
goes
right.
about organizing a watch.
Yep.
If I will sleep, he just doesn't want to sleep.
Okay. Fi eventually.
I will cast a sleep spell on himself to go to sleep.
1d6 fall down.
says Princess Nina. Fi is a different sort of elf. He actually doesn't have immunity to sleep because he's
Nope.
able to project dreams. This also means that his head is more open than other elves to different types of magic.
He smokes weed.
Fi, you have
all sorts of things.
a terrible dream where you get trapped in a maze that you've got tricks that you did when you were like 5 years old and, following a maze kind of, the maze coloring book where you train. Exactly.
You touch the wall.
But for some reason, this one is elusive, and you start to panic in the maze, and then there are people jumping out at you trying to kill you in the maze, but you end up killing them and roasting them with magic. And then there's something else in the maze, some sort of beast, something that's haunting you, and you spend a very frustrating night trying to move your way out of the maze while at the same time killing misshapen mongrel folk with fire and acid, watching their flesh just melt off their bones.
Good dream. Excellent dream. Hum.
Eldon, you awaken.
Yes.
And you thought for a moment that Icon was like casting light spells or something like that, like kind of while you're in the lucid dreaming stage of sleep. But It wasn't Icon. It was something in the chest. There's something in there that's really important. When you awoke, you actually thought that your hands were wrapped around the hilt of a short sword that was glowing with holy light.
Must open this now. Treasure awaits.
So how is Eldon reacting that morning? Princess Nina is like actually out of Fi, and she's brushing his eyebrows to make sure that his eyebrows aren't crazy. No crazy eyebrows. No crazy eyebrows.
What you need is war paint. What you need is war paint. That'll get you in the mood.
This is Eldon
Scare your enemies.
To Fi.
Yes.
Okay, slowly the group is starting to awaken. If any other people have had dreams that night, they're not sharing that morning.
We need to get this chest open.
There's the awful pickled smell of flesh to the south, and this chamber is really there's not a lot of airflow in this chamber. It's very stale by the time you wake up. Hit points. Everyone gets their level back in hit points.
Okay.
I think we're all healed.
I think all of your spells are gone. I'm just going to start erasing spells that are on your tokens.
Yep.
I think Fi gets 1 strength back.
Yep. Drugs are bad. Need to take a break.
Hadrian recast light, and I guess that evening Icon was continuously waking up and casting light spells and then going back to sleep for a while. He kind of like napped and then made sure that light was going. Like every, I think, what is it? 10 minutes per level?
It would be 10 minutes. It'd be every half hour, but he's a sorcerer, so he couldn't do that.
Oh, right.
We need an arcane.
Okay, that's fine.
We need like a proper.
That's fine. There are enough people with dark vision, including Icon, that he casted a few times. But Lann, Hadrian, Icon are all dark visioners.
Lann is dark vision? I really gotta look at his character sheet.
Eravashiel's the no visioner. Having his eyes plucked out by the Babao demon in the first encounter of the campaign.
Wrong.
Yeah, poor Lann. Poor
That sucked anus.
Okay, you have some looting to do, I think, or at least exploring. I get the sense that you wanted to finish exploring this dungeon. You prepare your spells for the day. Spells and powers, go ahead.
Yep.
I'm just going to reset a bunch of things on Icon's sheet.
It seemed to work well yesterday, so we'll keep the spells.
Icon, being a spontaneous caster, keeps his spells. All of his channels. Good morning, my friends, or the closest equivalent to such, as I am not certain what time of day it truly is. But know, relative to our spirits and condition, this